Tell me something about it.
What's your 2-minute pitch?
We are a bunch of game developers going to a game developer conference making a game on a train.
Okay.
Before we get there in 52 hours.
Okay.
We start in Chicago, we end in Emeryville.
Okay.
Yeah, and we all sort of got together, got a theme, made teams, constructed games, and made them. Well, we haven't made them yet. We're still in the present tense of making them.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Adriel.
Adriel?
Yes.
Okay, and you're being videoed now.
Okay.
So.
On your glasses?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So I wanted to tell you that.
Okay.
And when you're going to have a show later today?
Yeah, so after the Sacramento stop, a bunch of people are getting off, and then we're going to sort of take over the lounge car, and everybody's going to present their games and show what they've been working on, and everybody is welcome to come to it. So.
Okay, I'll try to come to that.
Cool.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Adrian.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
All of those things, and so from their perspective, the child has a very significant debt to their parents, and that's why they're expected to do yours.
Yeah, game is kind of
I'm putting his on right now.
I was gonna put Jamie's in after, or we can. I can just give you Jamie's.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Thousands of jobs lost when the base closed. The California Division of Forestry, known as CAL FIRE, has located its statewide aircraft maintenance center here. CAL FIRE operates the world's largest fleet of firefighting aircraft. The only
headphones that I have. So the idea of the game is really simple. There's going to be a circle, I think about 2 meters wide, and there's going to be one player in the dead center of it, and that player is not allowed to move from the spot in the center. They're allowed to turn though. The players outside of the circle are going to try and touch.
The area we are now passing may appear flat to you, but in railroad history it is the beginning of the Sierra Nevada mountains. You have heard the expression about men who could move mountains. Well, here we have the story of 4 men who moved the plains of the Sacramento Valley. The builders of the Central Pacific Railroad persuaded the federal government, including President Lincoln, that the mountains began at a arcade 09.
Wish we could retire our day now. Sorry, Ryan. Okay, you can do it.
Mommy, you're surrounded by beards. You gotta like
Beards! Beards everywhere! I hate them beards. Alright. So, Cam's trying to walk past me.
If you enjoyed our commentary this afternoon, meditate your trips across the Sierra more enjoyable.
I'm on lemon.
this thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're right.
shit.
Oh. Well, that wins.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the idea like my friend pension off like the game.
I did it. That was super good. We're like an hour and a half. I can breathe again. I myself feel real small again.
Try and get as like far away from the doors as possible so we can squeeze as many people to show off the games.
Can we stand on like the seats?
Probably. I'm just gonna get everybody in here and then start waiting for them to say like, hey, everybody, we're gonna show off the game.
How is everyone going to see it for us?
So basically, what I'm gonna do,
Project manager.
I feel like I should get everybody, but I'm gonna do this and then I'll tell it again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one person from every team sort of like say what the game ended up being and how it all went. And then I just want everybody to sort of have a little setup for their game so people can then just come around and play. Because there's no other good way to like, I call this to like show off the game. So just, you know, say what your game's about, and then once everybody's done doing that, then we can all play each other's games. So I'm going to go around to more people.
I haven't even played our game yet.
Cool.
Those folks who have been working on gaming, computer gaming, will
doesn't know what she's
in there. They've been preparing presentations ever since they left Chicago, and they're going to show you, the world, and each other what they have developed. So it should be a nice fun show and tell time. Give them a few minutes to get set up and
lounge car, so don't feel like you just have to sit at the table.
I'm gonna just like hop up here maybe. Let's create some more room. People want to squeeze in here somehow.
Let's go down. It becomes a problem.
I'll wait until I get everybody to It's a demo, maybe put it away so that we have more room on the desks to put computers that are demoing. And people and whatnot. Maybe just have like one person from your team hanging out with your computer. Yeah, so we're still waiting for a few people.
So what? That's
They don't know that, Norm.
They don't know that.
Not really. Alright, hey everybody! From what you're gonna do? Can you all hear me back there? Okay, I'll yell as loud as I can. This is as loud as I go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have each team send one person to say what their game is and what it's all about, because we have no other way to show them off. So you're gonna just give a little spiel about your game, and then once everybody's done giving their spiel, then we're just gonna let everybody play all the games who wants to play everybody's game. So that's how it's gonna go. So if you want to tell me about your game or tell everybody about your game, start sort of lining up here, because this is going to be the little point where you talk about what your game ended up being. Yay! Also, congratulations everyone for making a game! Okay, in like the few spare moments I wasn't sleeping or telling people to stop sitting in these seats. My game is a game where you slowly disconnect from your body until you ultimately disconnect from life. You slowly lose different abilities as you keep playing, and then ultimately you just end up completely disconnected from everything. It's kind of sad, but you can play it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep standing here.
Well, you fit so perfectly.
I know. I hardly have to do anything. I can just stand straight.
It's not ideal, but
Ryan.
Station 27.
are you standing on something?
I'm standing on the chairs.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. Now everybody be quiet so everybody can talk about their games. Yeah, yell as loud as you can.
Hey everybody! Me and Bryce made a game called Station 27. You're a guy, you wake up at a bus stop, and you don't know where the bus is, so you keep going to sleep, and every time you wake up something strange has happened. There's new people there, there's a ghost bartender, there's dinosaurs, there's pickup artists, there's all kinds of crazy people. I don't want to give it away because it's kind of about the content. So come check it out. Yeah, Station 27.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I made a game about going around to different games conferences and the craziness that is accompanied with it and being sort of disconnected from reality. And it's sort of also a meta thing about, because like the only thing that can actually really hurt you is if you're not taking care of yourself and you disconnect from your body because you're too busy working and doing crazy stuff. And I know that makes me a hypocrite because I didn't sleep, I just jammed. But it's totally the plot! Yay!
Alright, I'm Ryan and I had a team of 4 guys and we made a game called Off the Grid. If you've seen Breaking Bad, you'd be familiar with this. Basically, you're a fugitive who's kind of gone off into a small town and you're kind of trying to hide from the law. You don't really know what it is, you're a sketchy guy. But you have to go into town and buy food and talk with people, and so you're trying to kind of not die of hunger or boredom. but you also can't be raising suspicion. And there are people looking for you. So if you want to come check it out, it's a great vertical slice of all the mechanics we have. Lots of buying bananas and meat and talking to people. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rami Ismail. I made a game that we just played outside at Sacramento Station. In case you missed it, the idea was that the one player got an iPad strapped to their back, and other players had to stay outside of a like 3 or 4 step circle. The player with the iPad had headphones on, so couldn't hear what the other players were saying, and the other players were trying to hit the iPhone on the back of the first player. If that first player could tag the others, they were out, and if they managed to touch the iPad 3 times, the player would lose. It ended up being a lot of smashing people in the back and sort of in the face and arm area, but it was really fun. So I'll upload the APK at some point, and if you have a disposable iPad or tablet, I could recommend playing it maybe.
My clips are a little, my shots are a little tight. Mine are. I'm just gonna sit down. Stand there. That was a little wobbly. Okay, I made a game called Space Jeff. It's about a guy named Jeff in space. Had a sudden electrical storm in his brain, kind of messed up the wiring. It requires 4 players and a lot of communication. So each player has one Xbox controller and access to one button that controls one thruster on this astronaut. Features a campaign mode and a flappy mode as well. It also features,
of course, somebody
David
had
Hasselhoff vomiting puppies.
Yes!
So if you're into that kind of thing,
David Hasselhoff!
So I'm Devin Scott Duncan. I made a game where you play a giant spider and you control every joint on his legs, so you have to use almost every key on the keyboard. And so what's happening is you're giving birth, you have a giant egg sac, and these little cute baby spiders come out, and you have to stab them through the face, like you know, like the spider in Limbo, he stabs the little boy. So you gotta stab at your babies because they're trying to rip off your claw, the bottom of your legs, and shove them through your eyes. So if they manage to rip off all of your legs, your eye milk gets to be too strong, and you can no longer survive, and then they breed and continue the game, and the same thing happens to them. Otherwise, you murder them, and you must breed again because you're a spider, and you can't just die, you have to breed. So that's pretty much the game.
Yes, children is what I was going for there.
So I'm Abdullah. I came all the way from Saudi Arabia to be on this train jam. And me and Matt and Joel and what's the other guy's name?
You guys became best friends.
Hey, English is my second language, so whatever. What was his name? Andrew, he made the music. We made a game, like tablet game, multiplayer tablet game. It's kind of like Fingal meets Angry Hippos, where you're encouraged to actually beat up the person next to you to actually win. And it's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys like it.
My name's Ted. I worked on a game where you're a fisherman trying to get home, and you need to navigate using the star constellations above you, which are completely disconnected from the locations they represent. And so, through multiple playthroughs, you learn what these represent and how to get safely back to the port. Now, you can't really get to the port because I didn't quite finish it, but there's an alpha available if anyone wants to see things sailing around. Thank you.
My name is Bruno. I'm from Brazil. I came from Brazil just to participate in the conference game Jam GC. My game was about trains and trains going to stations, and every time you pass through a station, you disconnect the pass through the station. But I created an abstract game about numbers and operations made with numbers. Please came to play my game.
Okay.
Okay?
Hi, I'm Andrew Gray. My game is an emergency backup game I made. It was my first one, completely failed. It's a very short fun game called Zero Bars. It's about the disconnect we feel when we see things happening in other countries and when we're very, very far away, and it's very hard to understand what's going on over there. And if I say any more than that, I'll kind of give away what I was trying to do. So if you want to see what I try to do, come play it. Thank you.
Hello fellas, I'm Maurizio and I work with Robin and Kaiser and Mark to make a game using Robin's made sliders, so it's kind of a weird control system which was difficult. We ended up making a game about sort of arcade multiplayer for 8 or 4 players depending, about monsters kind of squirting substances at each other. The title is more explicit, but that's available in private. And nothing, it's done that. It kind of works, which is surprising.
Hey, I'm Quincy. I work with Nick on a game about disconnecting your senses called Lucid Sense Deprivation, or LSD for short. So basically you can augment your vision by decreasing your control and hearing, or vice versa for the other ones. You're in this half-awake lucid state and you're trying to go back to a peaceful sleep, get away from all the monsters and things attacking you. That's it. Cool.
I know. Hi everybody, myself, Eric Robinson, Alicia, Amanda, Andrew Gleason, and Eric Chan made a game, kind of rushed the last 2 days, or a day and a half, whatever, called Waiting for, I gotta get the name right.
Ganondorf.
Thank you, Ganondorf. We messed up the name at first, but yeah, Waiting for Ganondorf, where it's kind of an existential game where it's a existential fishing game. I feel like maybe Andrew should have done this.
Who's giving this
yeah. So existential fishing game that explores what happens when the hero of a quest disconnects from that quest and decides to just say, screw it, I'm gonna go fishing. If you want to check out kind of all the hilarity that ensues, come take a look. Thank you.
Existential fishing as an iOS game. Robbie, we're gonna do it then.
Put ninjas in it. They really like that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm Alan Lavelle. I work with Ben Swindon and Devin Horseman to make a game called, I'm forgetting it.
Shield Lord!
Shield Lord! And it's a game where you play as a dejected monk and you essentially climb to the top of the mountain, grab a shield, and just bust your way back down the mountain, killing lots of monsters on the way and having a great time. So basically it's sort of like the speedrun game. So you glide and then you end up in these sort of temples where you have to kill everybody. So there's a speedrun element and then sort of like a fight, kill 'em all type thing. And yeah, we're just down there, so thanks.
Yeah, so I'm Heather and our team was me, Kaho, Ramsey, and Ivan, and we made the game Window Vistas. And we're really inspired by this environment and this train, and so we wanted to make a game that was kind of about it, but not necessarily exactly about it. So we took data from the train, it's like light data, sound, and vibration, and used that to generate a procedurally generated environment that goes from day to night, so there's like 2 different cycles, and the gameplay is actually outside of the game, it's disconnected from the game, and so the idea is that you actually can go into this environment, which is being dynamically generated in polycode, and then just take an Instagram or a Vine or whatever and upload that, so you have like this virtual, real experience of the train.
Cool.
You mind flipping this right here? Great names are just fun.
It requires too much explanation.
This is a really dangerous game.
Dangerous game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold Andrew.
You should look at people when you talk to them.
So, Avril, Amanda, Eric, and I. Did I miss anybody?
You said Avril, her name's Alicia.
Alicia Avril. Amanda Wallace, Andrew Gleason, that's me, and Eric Chan. we made the best Oculus Rift game ever. It doesn't have a name. It's just the best Oculus Rift game ever. So if you Google that, you'll find it. I'm sorry? I'm in another world.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Yeah. So in the game there are 2D assets in a 3D space, and it's about a young orphan girl who has been recently adopted, and she explores her bedroom and tries to understand what's going on. It's the best Oculus Rift game ever.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Wires. It's gonna break everything.
No. Break all the things.
What are they gonna do now? Kick us off the train?
Just something. So the next shot of this is just like 60 game developers outside in a grassy field. I'll go and kick up.
Okay, I'm Anson Good. Myself, along with Tony Opp, Jack Stevens, and Joseph Rule, we made a 2D puzzle platformer called Disconnected, and it's kind of like, the title's kind of funny. It's a comedic take on like the NSA panic and social media. So basically, like Ted is up one day and he's reading the paper or something, and he finds out like the NSA is mining all of our data or whatever. So he jumps into the internet and he's deleting all of his data as a lightsaber Jedi ninja thing. So he's going in and he's physically attacking cookies, and he's actually hacking and deleting his Facebook post from the back end. And at the very end, he has to fight a virtual version of himself, a kind of larger than life social media persona, which is just this big mean him. So if you want to check that out, we're back there. Thank you.
Where I'm at.
What, Adrian's not presenting?
No.
Adrian made it again.
Yes, my name is
Hey everyone, I'm Michael. I worked on a game with Adrian and Elena. We built a game that we called 14 Seconds, because you are an astronaut who has become disconnected from your spaceship with only 14 seconds of oxygen left. And as you begin to run out of oxygen, navigating your way around the asteroid field, you gradually begin to asphyxiate and suffocate and disconnect from your character. And so he starts doing things spontaneously, which really makes it difficult. It's difficult enough in the first place because it's essentially QWOP in space. It's kind of a cross between QWOP and gravity, or space QWOP, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, come play it.
That's the one line pitch, Space QWOP. Hi, I'm Norm. I worked with Curtis, Zach, Brittany, Mac, and Ben, and we made the greatest AAA first-person shooter spectacle that the gaming world has ever seen. It's incredible. It's called Warcry 3. Unfortunately, it has serious DRM server connectivity issues, which means that you spend the majority of your time playing the game actually trying to troubleshoot your server connection issues through a series of mini-games, losing your sanity in the process. If you want to come play it, give it a try.
My name is Richard. I started with a team and then I lost my team over time. Now I found them back, but I thought I'd do something with my disconnected Oculus Rift, which is homemade, 3D printed, and it works with smartphones. And basically, it's similar to like the game the Ultimate is you are in a spaceship and then an asteroid hits you, and I am really inspired by Gravity, the movie. So I thought, just take it a bit further and see what happens if you float out of space, and just as a virtual reality experience. Very short, but in a few hours I've done that, and you can play it disconnected.
Everybody sort of presented their games. Is there anybody who didn't present or thinks that they didn't quite make a game and they don't want to present, then you should present anyway? Or did we get everybody? Everybody?
Everybody go! Present your almost game.
There's one more person who I think is still back in the Superliner room, so Rami's gonna go run really quick and find him.
Kill time.
Yeah, so
Any stand-up comedian?
anybody have a good joke?
What's the deal with airline food?
What is the deal with airline food?
It's not as good as train food.
Adrian, I got one. Yeah. What's the difference between a joke and a rhetorical question?
That's really funny.
I have one.
Go for it.
What did the 0 say to the 8?
Nice belt.
Yeah!
Yeah, try and find a bad joke I don't know.
What did Adriel put on her toast this morning?
What?
Train jam.
You get a gold star. You win. You win the train jam. It wasn't competitive until this point. Now you've won. Yeah, alright.
Why do programmers get Halloween and Christmas confused?
Because Oct 31 is decimal 25.
Jokes for nerds.
This crowd sounds really violent.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess this is the point where I can say, once we're done showing off the games and everything, I'm gonna take my USB stick and come around and get a build of everybody's games so that I can put it on the website, the Train Jam website, so that, you know, everybody can enjoy all the fancy things we made.
And steal our ideas.
And steal our ideas and make millions off of them. So I guess once we're done showing off all the games, just put in your games, and if everybody wants to play them, and I'll come around eventually and get your game. And if I don't come around to get your game, find me and give me your game, because there's a lot of you and a lot of games.
We can also say thank you to you.
I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, but it seemed to have gone pretty well. So I guess I'm going to turn this into an annual event now. It's not going to be exclusive, but I'll probably send out some sort of email way far away from right now about next year's Train Jam, and you guys can all have like first picks because you guys are super cool. But yeah, so this will probably end up being an annual event, so thanks for being part of the first one. And that's really, wait, did we find Shiggy?
Yeah, I got one more game here.
Yeah, we got one more game to show off! We told bad jokes, we did thanks, it was great. One more game and then we can start playing everybody's games.
Yeah.
Now you can put this on you, shout really loud, talk about your game. Sorry, I'm like shouting at you.
Shouting to the microphone really loud?
The microphone is just to sort of pick you up for the cameras, but you have to shout loud so that they can hear you.
Oh.
Alright, last game.
Hello everyone, can you hear me at the back? My name's Shahid and I'm now a game jamaholic. This is the first time I've spoken. No, it isn't. First time I've taken part in a game jam. Definitely won't be the last. I'm an old guy, not too steady on my feet. One of the greatest experiences of my life. You guys are amazing. Last 2 years I spent in the close company of independent games developers. It's been the best part of my career in 32 years. And now I can see why. I mean, it's just, wow, what else did you want to do? It's just, you know, I'll tell you what just happened. Yeah, that would help. So my game, which I haven't finished and I broke because I didn't use version control, was and might still be about a father and a son. And the father is blind and he's trying to find his way back to his son. And he sees his son only in dreams. He doesn't actually see his son. He sees a representation of his son. And he tries to work out what it is that got father and son disconnected. And the son says, remember the music we used to make together. So the game is an audio-based game where you're trying to find your way as a blind person through an audio environment, picking up individual tracks of music that you used to work on together. And as the game progresses, you can see why this is never going to happen 2 days. As the game progresses, I suddenly realise that, hey, this is a bit too ambitious. And so with about 15 minutes left to go, Adriel came and, where are you? By the way, is everyone giving a great big cheer for Adriel? So she came in and said, by the way, you've got 15 minutes left. Okay, I've got an idea, but I should have had this 2 days ago, and I want to see if I can finish it in 15 minutes. So the idea I should have made was a game called, wait for it, disconnected. So it's basically a bunch of particles on the screen, and you click on a bunch of particles, and you use energy to draw those particles that are all disconnected into a blob. You have finite energy, the particles amass together, they grow bigger and create gravity to create other particles. You've got a certain amount of time before your time runs out, your energy runs out, you've got to make the biggest blob possible and leave few particles as possible. That I could have done in 2 days, but I didn't do that, so I'm going to go back to the hotel to do it. I also got to do some music on, and this is a rude word, monsturbation. Where are the monsturbation guys? That's the only whoop you're going to get from me. Thank you very much for allowing an old guy and a corporate whore. Please don't put that anywhere. Don't go and all the rest. For a supposed corporate whore into your wonderful, wonderful event. I've had a great time, and I hope to do many more. Thank you.
And on behalf of everybody that participated, you sort of ended up buying yourself your own gift.
Okay.
I went around and asked everybody if they wanted to sign it for me.
Is it my big whistle?
Oh! And there you
Thank you everybody for being part of the first Train Jam. Like I said, this is going to be annual, so if you want to come back next year. Everybody play each other's games. You guys all worked really, really hard, so congratulations on making something in such a strange place without internet. Like, totally kudos, man. It's like we're back in the 80s. It's great. So yeah, play everybody's games and enjoy yourselves. I guess logistic-wise, we're arriving in Emeryville in like an hour. So you've got an hour to play each other's games, sort of clean up after yourselves, gather your stuff, and then disembark from the train.
It's never gonna end.
Right from the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, we can hop on again and just go back to Chicago and just keep going back and forth forever until we die.
What?
I'm really tired. One other logistics thing that I didn't mention in Chicago because I only really got the email that morning. Uber is providing people a $20 credit to any new Uber account that uses the code TRAINJAM, and that will get you from Emeryville to somewhere closer to Moscone. So that is how we're actually all getting away from Emeryville to where we need to go. So I haven't had a chance to talk to him about if it works for existing accounts, but at the very least, new people signing up with the code TRAINJAM gets a free $20 cab ride from Uber. And that's it. Play each other's games and give yourselves a big old pat in the back. Okay, go play games. Did you get all the answers?
Whenever anyone comes over, there's a whole bunch of Chris Grass took a lot of space.
I heard that. I'm like, where's it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
There we go. That was all the games.
That was wonderful.
Thanks.
You guys had such a great time.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time. I'm exhausted, but good.